Hello Mushkins, and in this video I will be reviewing a bunch of different store-bought putties, and if you want to know where I bought all of these putties, just refer to the description of this video and I will have a little list typed out of where I bought all of these. Some of these putties were actually really nice, but others were really bad and they smelled really bad, so I will try and be as honest and transparent as possible about all of these different putties. And if you really like this video, we have actually done a video like this before. We posted it last year during Christmas week and it was one of our most popular videos ever, so I will have a direct link to that video in the description of this video. And here we have the first putty that I will be reviewing in this video, and it's this yellow putty with a bunch of gold glitters in it. This one also just smelt a little bit funny, but I was really surprised by the texture. It wasn't as rippy as other putties that I've tried from other stores, so I really enjoyed this one, and I think I got this one either from Chinatown or Proto Trading, but like I said before, all the different shops that I went to will be there in the description of this video. This next putty is a clear green putty, and it came with a bunch of little nail glitters at the bottom, as well as this rubber unicorn charm that I found really cute. This putty wasn't one of the best that I've ever felt. It was quite rippy and it really just crumbled in my hands when I squished it. And in my opinion, a really good putty is one that has a really awesome slow stretch and that makes a lot of bubble pops. So I did review a few really expensive good putties in the previous putty review video if you want to go and have a look, but this one overall just wasn't a really good putty. This next one was a really pretty clear purple putty, but this one, like the one before, was also quite rippy and crumbly. This next one was probably one of the prettiest putties that I've ever seen in a store. It had this really beautiful sort of avalanche slime type effect, but this one had a really funny smell. It had a really sweet smell, but it wasn't really pleasant. It didn't match the slime and it just smelled a little bit off, but it was still quite a stretchy slime at the beginning, but then it also started crumbling and ripping quite a lot, but it is still so gorgeous. This next pink putty was probably also one of the prettiest ones that I've ever seen in a store ever. It was so glittery and pretty, and it had the prettiest little glitters and things on top that you get to mix in. But again, this slime was also, or this putty was completely rippy and crumbly. So I did try and fix this one, like I've seen loads of people on YouTube do. It's like a challenge where you fix store-bought putties, but it didn't go so well. So I tried to fix this putty by adding a bit of clay slime to it, because I thought it might just color the clay slime and make it really pretty and glittery and pink. And I also ended up microwaving it a little bit to try and soften the putty and mix it into the slime. But I gave up eventually because it really just turned into a really rock hard slime that didn't want to stretch at all. But at least it was really glittery and pretty. I also found this really cool brand of slime at Chinatown, and I wouldn't really call this a slime. I think it was more clay, like pure sizzly clay, but it was probably one of the best clays or slimes or whatever you want to call it that I've ever found at Chinatown. It was so soft and sizzly and stretchy and a lot of fun to play with. I bought these next set of magic clay putties from Mambo's for 30 Rand, and it was honestly the worst putties I have ever played with, and I think it was mainly just the smell. It had the worst smell. I really can't explain it. It just smelled like chemicals. It was just terrible. So excuse the really short clip of playing with this, but I really didn't have a good time playing with these putties. I bought these next two putties because they have this really pretty layering effect in the container, so I thought it would be really fun to mix together and play with. But I was a little bit disappointed. These two felt wet and they had this really droopy effect, so it really wasn't like a proper putty, like a stiff one that you could stretch slowly and pop the bubbles in. It was a really droopy type of slime putty that I didn't really enjoy playing with. But the colors were really pretty. Next we have this magic soft slime, and I bought this one not because of the colors, but because the colors are actually quite ugly, but I bought it because of the texture. I thought it might be a really soft clay slime type texture, but I was really disappointed. It was this hard, gooey, slimy mess that was just really disgusting, and it also didn't smell too great. Next we have mud bubbles, and I bought this one because of the colors and also because it looked like a really soft clay slime from the packaging, and it really was. It was this really soft clay type texture. I wouldn't really call it a clay slime. I think it was just more pure clay. And then I bought this entire box of putties just because I really love the packaging and everything about these putties. It's made up of clay at the bottom and then with this little clear putty at the top to represent the ice cream on the cone. And the actual clay was really sizzly and I loved mixing the colors together. The end color isn't that pretty, but it was still a lot of fun to squish everything together. If you plan on buying this, I wouldn't recommend adding the clear putty to the clay just because it really stiffens it up quite a lot. But I still had fun mixing all of these together. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed seeing all of these new and different putties. Make sure to look at the description of this video if you want to know exactly where I bought them. And because we are in Christmas week, I'm posting a video again tomorrow, so make sure your post notifications are on so that you don't miss tomorrow's new video.